She also gave you a speaker's hack sheet. And I had come up with 10 different things on there, and I won't read them all because you can read them there. But one of them ties into what Sarah had said about perfection. This was huge. When I was preparing to sing on stage at the Townsend with the Band of Legends, I took a class with Usher. This is Usher. Most people, I said, I don't know who Usher is. One friend said, Joe, you shouldn't say that in public. Usher's huge. I mean, he's like the Michael Jackson or whatever the thing would be, the Elvis in his category. But he had a class on master class, and I took it because I wanted to prepare for the event. It's one of a dozen things I did to prepare. And one of the big takeaways was the idea of don't expect it to be perfect. It is not going to be perfect. Something will go wrong. A mic will go out. The weather will be bad. You'll forget your lines. You'll be sick. Usher told the story of, at an opening act, he broke 2 ribs and continued to perform for the next 2 hours. But the interesting thing is, if you have the mindset that it's not going to be perfect, and you're actually on stage and it's not perfect, it doesn't bother you. The night at the Townsend wasn't perfect. There were friends who didn't make it, and we waited for a while to begin. I didn't have all my songs memorized, which really haunted me. I kept thinking, I need to know my own freaking songs. Why don't I know my own songs? And drummer Joe said, you know these bands that are out there traveling and they have 200 songs or more? They don't memorize their own songs. They got a teleprompter. And I put a music stand up on the stage and glanced at it. And Caroline was at the event, Sarah was at the event, my trusted friends were all at the event. And nobody said, how come you didn't memorize your song? Nobody said, how come you had a music stand up there? They went with it. But if you have the idea that it's not going to be as perfect as you think, you will be okay. It's like Buddha's saying, life is suffering. But as soon as you accept life is suffering, it doesn't matter anymore. You suffer less. You've accepted the key thing. I keep waiting for all of you to leave, so I don't have to stay. I actually left my guitar in the car last night with the doors unlocked, and I'm in a Bentley, so I figured, why don't they steal my car? I mean, my guitar, or the car, whatever gets me out of this. Visualizing, breathing, visiting the stage. Sarah, I see you're still here, so I'm going to keep including you in this. When I was getting ready to go to the Townsend, which is downtown Austin, which is where I performed, Sarah, Megan, and Lori, my trusted friends who were really supporting me, all went there with me. And we went to the Townsend, and I got on stage. And I asked, I don't know who took the photo, I don't know if it was Sarah or somebody else there, but they took a photo of me with a power pose. I'm on stage just owning it. There's nobody there. I didn't perform or anything. I'm on an empty stage. But I got, wow! And I looked at that photo every day for the 2 months before the event. And by having that power photo, it anchored in me a muscle memory, if you will, a vision that I wanted. But I also kept looking at it and going, I can do this. I've already been on the stage. When Lisa and I came down here to check out this place, we loved the place online before we even got to the actual theater. But we both got on here and we took photos of each other and we posted them on Facebook and other places so people could see we are owning the stage in advance. Whenever I go to speak, I do my best to get to the stage the day before. I get to the stage, I find out where the event is, I go to the stage. It's probably like a mic check with bands that go for a sound check early. But I go the day before and I walk around the stage. I did this whenever we were here last. I did it, I walked around the stage. There's nobody here. Just walking around so I can feel like this is home. I can be okay here. Yeah. So that when I actually get on stage, I've already been here. It's not new anymore. What else did I write? Waiting for people to leave. Keep staying. Telling stories. That is a big thing from marketing, from copywriting, and from just life. We don't talk to each other in terms of facts and figures. We talk to each other in terms of stories. And so whenever you could incorporate stories, much of which is I've been doing here, and what Sarah did earlier by telling her story of meeting me, all makes this come alive. So I guess I am actually doing this. People are still here. Sarah's waiting. I gotta sit here. So I'm gonna sit here and tell you a story. Now, is this mic doing what this mic was doing? Is it working?
Yeah, it's working.
Put that down. You all know I have a jacket, right? Right?
Yes.
You might be here, but I want you to be awake. Respond to me, please.
All right.
All right, taking the jacket off. You all know I have a shirt that says "Expect Miracles,"
Yes.
which you can get at the new Joe Vitale.
What was the link again?
It's VitaleLifeMastery.com.
.com. I was the second customer. Yes.
Well, I was the first.
I know. I was the
wouldn't
second.
rush.
I know.
So, how many people know who Melissa Etheridge is?
Yeah.
I've been a huge fan for 20 years, and I got to study with her. I got to go to her house. I got to go into her studio. We worked on music together. And you got to imagine, I got chills now reliving the whole thing. She was as sweet and as present as can be. I mean, I met her wife. They all walked in and they offered me food. Like, would you like something to eat, Joe? And I'm like, good God, I'm with Melissa Etheridge. The groupie part of me, you know, the one that is just in awe of her. I was like, I can't believe this. Not only am I in her home, but they want to feed me. I can't believe it. She gave me a tour of her guitars. We talked about music. She deeply influenced the most recent album, which is called The Great Something. The original title was going to be Miracles, and we talked about it, and she said miracles is kind of overused. She said people will say the car didn't start, and then all of a sudden it did start, and they say, oh, it's a miracle. What miracle? The car started. You know, it was more simple than that. And I told her about my belief that there is a great something. Some people call it the universe, some people call it the divine, some people call it God. You know, it could be any number of things. I like the great mystery of the great something. When I said the great something to Melissa Etheridge, she went, oh, well, if Melissa Etheridge approves your title, you should use that title. So I did. And I wrote a song for her as well. There's a song, I dedicated the album to her, wrote a song on there called Melissa Said. The whole thing was influenced by her. I sent it to her. And when I saw her the last time, which was after one of her shows in San Antonio, I got to corner her and ask if she had gotten the album, and she loved it. Absolutely loved it. She was so glad that I called it The Great Something. I feel the great something directs all of us. I feel the great something is what's inside of us as our inner compass. It gets us to do things like when Lisa and I agree to have dinner, and both of us are like, what are we doing here? And then we end up with this amazing relationship, and we end up doing things like she has her book out, and she's doing this event for the first time. All of you have that. All of you have that available to you. It's a matter of tuning in. I'm stalling, by the way. I can tell inspiring stories. I can answer questions. I can do all kinds of things to delay doing this. Also, performing after Sarah is a little bit like trying to sing after Elvis. This is not the right lineup. I should win first. I'm not going to sound like her. Don't expect that. So when I'm with Melissa Etheridge, she had asked me to sing for her. She said, I want to hear some of your music. Play for me. How many people's heart just stopped? That's what happened to me. My heart stopped. It's like, I'm going to sing for Melissa Etheridge. She gave me a guitar. You know, I'm in her studio, and it's just me and her. And I even said, do you know what you're asking me? And she said, I'm sorry, but yeah, I would like to hear you sing. And I started to do a couple things. I did something like this. One more, 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 one more day to go, one more sun to rise, one more moon to shine, one more day. And right about there I stopped because I didn't know my song. It was my song. And so I tried to distract her by going, I do a little finger picking. And then I tried to do another song, and I didn't have any of them memorized. I got sweaty palms reliving it. And I could see in her face she was a little surprised. I don't know if she was disappointed. She's big-hearted, very loving, unconditional. I judged myself, though. But I let it go, because I knew I'm not going to see her again for a while. maybe ever. And then I'm in Las Vegas, and there is a famous musician and magician and pianist, and he's been a fan of mine, and I was a fan of his, and ended up I was with him, and he handed me a guitar, and he said, why don't you play a couple of your songs? I'm like, I can't do that. And he said, why not? And I said, I don't have any of them. I don't have any of them memorized. He said, I know you've written 100 songs, and I have over 100 songs. And he says, pick one that really means something to you. Pick one that means something to you so you can testify to the people that are listening. And I didn't have it. I fumbled through a couple things, but I didn't have it. And it frickin' haunted me. It frickin' haunted me. So now Lisa and I are getting together, and we're talking about doing this on the stage event. And we did several Facebook Lives, which were a hoot to do. We're like a comedy team.
We are.
We're just playing off of each other, so you've seen it. And we're silly and zany and loving, but it's all there. We're also promoting the event. And I had pointed out that she had not been on stage as a speaker. She's been on stage for 40 years. Again, like me, starting at the age of 5 as a singer. And then I said, well, I've never actually owned the stage as a solo singer-songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do that.
Yeah.
I so regret it. Because now you're all waiting. And you're still here. And my guitar's still here. Sarah and I have had many meetings. She's been a tutor to me. She was involved in the very first album. She's on the first album. She was involved with the singer-songwriter material that I wrote on the first album. The first person that heard it, I think, was her. And but I haven't done it like this. And we even talked about doing, what do they call, open mics. Open mics. I couldn't get my head to get there. I decided to do the band behind me, which made it easier. But I'm going to actually sing a song for you that I wrote, that I think remember. And I'm hoping at some point Melissa Etheridge gets to see this.
You can fill in the voice.
What do you think so far? Woke up this morning, saw a note on my bed, said today's the day that soul it said. Looked around my room, no one there. The day that soul it said. When walking down the street, saw clouds I never seen. Saw an angel looking down at me. She said, the day's the day, today's the day, today's the day. You know what to do, you know what to do. Today's the day, today's the day, today. You understand today's the day? You understand you know what to do?
We can sing along with you.
You can. You now know the words, really. There ain't any more words. I'm getting paid by the word, by the way, and I'm just going to keep repeating the word. Today's the day, Today's the day. Today's the day. We'll stop there. This is what I was afraid would happen. You would like it, and I would like it. Now I don't want to leave.
Get the cane. No.
Thank you, thank you. That is the debut. What kind of questions do you have about